Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to all of you, TGIF. How are we doing today? Announcement. I will not be having a live stream this Sunday. Okay? This Sunday, I will not be having a live stream, ladies and gentlemen. And let me say it ahead of time. I do believe that it is Mother's Day on Sunday. So happy Mother's Day to all of you. All right? Because we will not be having a live stream this Sunday. Let's see who's in the house today. Copernicus is here. How you doing, Copernicus? Evil Girl 87. Hello. Jan, how are you? JT, how you doing? Hawkeye is here. Hello, Cindy. Tony. JD Lunt is in the house. Pam T. Steve Gray. Gracious 48. Hello. Open house today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a little bit of chit-chatting to do. And I've got a couple of things to show you, but if you have any questions or comments you want to share with the community, go right ahead. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have here? Francis Green, how you doing? Hello, never look back. How you doing? Steve Spillman, how are you? Margarita Castro, how are you? Happy Mother's Day. Cindy Rice, Lori, Beast Slayer. Let me know if I'm coming in okay. All right, I got a 5x5 from Beast Slayer, and I got a number 1 from Copernicus. Keisha, hello. Whole Foods Lifestyles, how you doing? Good to have you here, Whole Foods. How you doing, Eric? Rockin' Robin is here. Jonaida, how are you? Passionate Herbs, hello to you. Simple Man is here. Becky Reed. Kenneth Winkler, how you doing? Donna Southwood, how are you? Freedom Fighter, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Hello, Ashley. God's Plan, how are you? Jenny O is here. Greetings to you. Hello, Linda Bob. Richard Seeley, good evening. Jason M, hello. Herculean, Outlaw Farms, Captain Coral, Penny Miller. Kevin is here. How you doing, Kevin? Yan Bouch, Gustav Monkey, how you doing? Scott Hummer. Rafter Stacker, how are you? Irish is here from South Florida. Kimberly Anderson, how you doing? First time live for Kimberly. Welcome, Kimberly. Nice to have you. Lady Samantha, hello. Yes, happy weekend. TGIF, ladies and gentlemen. Pam T, happy Mother's Day. Revelation Chapter, how are you? Sugar in the Attic. Marilyn Walsh. Kathleen Ralston, how you doing, Kathleen? Good to see you. Very nice to see you here today. Ginny Pennington, Eve, Tracy. Matthew Truckin, hello. 86 degrees. It's kind of chilly today. It's actually a little bit chilly here in the bunker, but I'm not turning my heater on anymore. That's it. We got to give that thing a break. How you doing, Terry? Caribbean Houses in the house. Lisa, Josephine, Damaris Rivera, how are you? Paula, Pelusa. Let's see. Misfit Mountain Farm, how you doing? ABC Patriot. Red Nixton. London Girl is here. Natasha, hello. Alexis, Jennifer, Deb, Tommy Bites is in the house. Lori Lua, Angela Picerno is here. South Point Survival, how you doing? Good to see you here. Me too as well. Welcome. Jean Blair, Gary Teeters. Seymour, P Mafia, QUSMC. What's up, APN community from Central Texas? Good to see you here today, USMC. The man is here. From the hood to the woods. Sounds good. How you doing, Tina? Good to see you. Sandy, who's your mom? Linda Greenwell. Kelly Turner. Crazy Backyard Man made it. Captain Coral. Let's see. Captain Coral asks, how did you do with the stock market crash? I know Bitcoin took a beating. Well, I don't participate in the stock market. But if you watch my last video that I posted about 3 or 4 hours ago, I did go over with you all 3 investments that I made where I made 50+% return in less than a year on some of those. Hello, Sarah. Mark Haim, how you doing? Mrs. Blessed is here. Good to see you. Really? Costco has Nutrient Survival? Hello, AP. I got my first 12 number 10 cans of Nutrient Survival. Awesome. I have a feel. I talked to them about the Walmart thing, and I think that might be a temporary thing. They're just trying it out to get their name out there. But good. Bitcoin Country, how you doing? Kathy, Outlaw Farms, Joyce, Hostetler, Sugar in the Attic Homestead, Squeezy B, Roger Rabbit is here, Dale Ga, ICUER, RNK. Try to say that one 3 times. RNK says it is hot in Texas now. Man, I'm hoping that you guys get some rains, or at least the farmers do. Jose Robles, how are you? I did not do anything different with the lighting, Linda. It just happens to be the sun, the way it's coming in the windows and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the lighting is working out all right today. I'm trying to get a light so that I can always have constant lighting. But I have to get the right one because I don't want one where I'm always going to have to be glaring, you know? Hello, Cricket, Eve, Quest, Joan Long is here, Valerie, Deborah, how are you doing? Ellen, JT, hello. Maddie Gee, Jennifer Maskiel, Audrey McClure, the Celtic Prepper is here. Lady Easton as well, saludos, igualmente. William Miles, Marlene Popos. Family Man Prepper, I like that. Ben Anglin, how you doing? Let's see. Adventures with Woodswoman. Rita Parker, Charlene, Judy Carroll. Let me see. Who else do we have here? We have Mark. We have Jan Bouch. Claudia Arredia. Claudia Arredia from Chicago. Beast Slayer. You know what, Beast Slayer? I don't really want to talk about that. I mean, I understand if I forget the name of that lady. You know, I forget the name of the lady who started Planned Parenthood. And all you have to do is just read her bio and also read a lot of her quotes. They are pretty nasty, pretty disgusting, but, you know, we'll leave it at that. And I forget her darn name. Let me see if I have it. I can't see it here. Let's see. No, that's not it. Give me a second. Let me at least get you the name. Yeah, I also have something from Lyndon B. Johnson as well. I'm sorry. I forget the name of the lady. I always forget. But yeah, pretty nasty stuff, you know. Prepper Mom 5, how you doing? Tin Lizzie. And it's funny, Beast Slayer, that you ask about that, because I actually had a whole bunch of slides on that because I was taking a look at it and researching the history and everything like that. And yeah, like I said, everyone ought to research that. Just type into Google the name of the lady that started Planned Parenthood, and then read her bio, and also go and search all of her historical quotes. They're pretty bad. Tin Lizzie, how you doing? Pelusa, Jeremiah Overstreet, how you doing? All the way from Houston, Texas. I'm coming in good today. All right, thank you, gracious. Crazy Willie Mullins, Brian Langford, how are you? Marine 84 is here. Good to see you, Marine 84. North of the 52nd is here as well, along with Julie Atkins from Alabama. Sweet Savory Words. Christy Perez. Goodbye Blue Skies. RP Strange. Captain Coral. Cad D. Morgan 7. Outlaw Farms. Lisa Simmons. Patty Brumbaugh. Aletha Walters. Leslie Morales. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. William Miles, Josh Fisher, Laura Dow. Hello, all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Welcome. Kate Holland, Cheryl, Beam B. How you doing today, Beam? Montana Grizz fan is in the house. How you doing, Montana? Regina, how you doing? Freedom Rain, Desert Hobo is here. Free at last, Julius, Claudia, Celeste, Tracy, how are you doing? Tracy says that she has her AC on in Arizona. That's not something that we really worry about too much here, AC. I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, I think the average temperature last year during the summer months, so like June, July, August, the average temperature when they took all the temperatures and aggregated them and then found the mean was like 52 or 54 degrees Fahrenheit. John 2, how you doing? Susan G, Bush Doctor. The 49th state is here. How you doing? Outlaw Farms. Tammy Brennan is here. Vicky, see me. Prepared Suburbanite. Flower Cats, how you doing? Ada Edis, April Perkins, Jen, Olga, Cricket Mullen, Kat D, Ann, Jeffrey's mom, Jay Hangler, girl. How you doing, Crazy Prepper Linda? I like that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it family friendly, all right? Let's have a good time. By all means, talk amongst yourselves in the chats if you'd like, but if you do have any questions or comments you want to share with the community, go ahead and put it all in caps. Rib Barbecue, how you doing? Happy Friday, says Frenchie Mama. Chris Burke. Oh, this is going to be a hard one, but I'm going to give it a try, okay? Oh my goodness. Cordu wow meow. Okay, welcome. All the way from Germany. D. Garza from Missouri. Raptor Ranch is here from northern Wisconsin. Grateful 67. Happy Mac made it. Silver Kid 23. Irish, I wear a better prepper, aka Hurley one. How you doing, Hurley? Good to see you. How you doing, Jackie? Good to see you as well. Linda. Jenny O, happy Mother's Day to all the mamas, she says. Taterto's grandma is here. Keisha. Eliza, how you doing? Red Neckiston. Yes, Red Neckiston says, I made those same investments. Great return on my money. Absolutely. Those were some good returns, huh? Indeed. Miss Bella, how you doing? ID prepping. Stephanie Alex. Jennifer Cruz made it. How you doing, Jennifer? Eve Water Dancer. Jason Town. Tracy Bailey. Captain Coral. Yeah, that's too bad, Captain Coral. I mean, that's actually not that bad of a loss, with how the stock market's been going down. But that's what I don't like about 401ks or IRAs and things like that, is that usually someone else is managing it for you and you can't manage it yourself. If you have to be in it anyways. Some jobs, like I know some jobs, you don't really have a choice who manages your investments, all right? I don't really like to call them investments, but that's technically what they are. How you doing, Tonette? Say hello to the hubby. Pencil Tucky Granny. How you doing? South Point Survival. Princess G. Michael Ham. Shalette Thaxton. Sweet Savory Words. Pen. Carlo Outdoor Adventure. ABC Patriot. Thank you. New subscriber. Love your channel. Thank you very much for that, ABC, and thank you very much for joining our community. That is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to ABC Patriot, the Alaska Prepper Way, and welcome. I'm going to say him or her, okay, into our community, because that's pretty awesome that we're getting new subscribers. So, good stuff. I used to say good stuff like all the time. It was worse than ladies and gentlemen. I used to say good stuff all the time. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Joe Hunter, how you doing? Oh, trust me, Joe, I am stocked up on nutrient survival. All right. I don't show you all everything that I get, but I make a monthly purchase every single month, not only of coffee, but of other stuff too, because I'm always filling in the gaps. I use this stuff every single day, so I'm always filling in the gaps. So yeah, absolutely. How you doing, Elizabeth Medina? How are you? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Janice Weichel, how you doing? Savage Lee, Nova Scotia Prepping, how you doing? Good to see you here, all the way from Canada. Prepping by Faith, Paula Bruner. Oh, that's great, Paula. I'm so happy to hear that. Southeast Texas got our rain yesterday. Now it's hot. Well, hopefully you got enough rain where some of the farmers, I don't know how many farmers are up in that area, but I hope that they are getting their rain that they need. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what, we should all be praying for our farmers to get rain where they need rain, and for some of those that are getting too much, moisture or too much rain to get less. It's going to be a mess if it doesn't work out right. I mean, with everything else that's going on, with the fertilizer, with the input costs, with the seed costs, incredible. With the parts shortages that are going on, where farmers have $250,000 piece of machineries sitting idle because they're waiting on a $42 part. Man, I'll tell you what, if people aren't prepping nowadays, I'll tell you what, they're going to get such a rude awakening, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that doesn't happen, but many are. It's unfortunate, but many are. Hello, Deanna. Good to see you. How you doing, Jackie? Good to see you. Vision Preparedness. How you doing? If I miss some of you, please excuse me. But there's no way that I can catch everyone. Okay, Shannon, how are you doing? Excuse me. Fed Up American. How you doing? Michelle Thompson. Blues Targan. How are you from Central Arkansas? Yes, Tracy, TGIF indeed. YS all the way from Ireland. Welcome. Oh, it's thunderstorming over there by Tonette. How you doing, Jake? Good to see you. None yet. And I'll tell you what, and they are so incredibly busy at Nutrient Survival. They're so busy that I don't think that they're looking out to export to any other countries outside of our borders. I even got an email from someone that wanted to buy some, and on the email, I realized that their address, I actually have to email them back, but I realized that their address is in the Virgin Islands. And yeah, they don't ship out over there, but they're so busy that I don't think they have the capacity right now. I believe that if you head over to their site right now, they have some stuff available, but they're certainly out of a lot of things right now. But the good news is this, the beginning of June, we are going to have an Alaska Prepper promotion, and it's going to be awesome, right, ladies and gentlemen? It usually takes me a while to work with Eric and Becky and try and get the very best deal that we possibly can. But we're going to have an awesome promotion, and it's going to be pretty limited. So, if you want, you can wait till then. If not, you can dollar cost average in. If you're in that part of your preparedness plan where you're wanting to get some freeze dry foods. And obviously, if you want to support the channel, use my link and use my code AP10 so that you can get 10% off your purchase. But I believe that I was talking to Becky, and she said that, now I haven't talked about this in the past, but I have read stuff on it, but that shipping companies are going to start charging a lot. And I was like, and she was telling me the new shipping rates that they're getting. I was like, oh my goodness, you have got to be kidding me. I'm like, it's ridiculous, but it is what it is. It's our new reality for now. I mean, I'm not sure that it'll be changing anytime soon, all right? Especially with the price of fuel and everything. So, how you doing, Natasha? Good to see you. Tony Hale, hello from Kentucky. Nurse Ratchet, how you doing? Let's see. Captain Coral says, bought 2 pounds of freeze-dried coffee today. Nice. And 2 boxes of 20 gauge ammo, 25 rounds a box. Yes, 20 gauge ammo is still available, pretty abundantly from what I can see. And it's not that expensive. So, yes, that's why I think that one of the best boomsticks to get, if you could only get one, if I could only get one boomstick and that's it, I would definitely get a shoddy. All right. I would get a shoddy, one of the ones that you cock back, shoddy, and I would get different kinds of freedom seeds for them, right? Because you can get some for hunting birds or fowl. You can get some for actually hunting deer and larger animals, so, and you can get some for home defense. So there's a lot of variety in the types of freedom seeds that you can get for that boomstick. Hello, Pam T. Let's see. Okay, all right. How you doing, Brian Langford? Good to see you here today. I hope you all had a good week, ladies and gentlemen. It's very nice to see every one of you. Vision preparedness. AP, what was the iodine you said was ingestible? Do I have it here? Oh, it's right here. Just a second. It's on Amazon. I don't have it on my Amazon storefront, but it is on Amazon. And here, I'll just show it to you. Oh, look at that. I hope the picture's coming in good. But there it is. Benevolent liquid iodine. And they come in 2-ounce bottles. And I don't think these were very expensive. Not at all. I mean, I'm thinking like, I don't know, $7, $8, something like that, $10. Not expensive at all. So, ID Preppin', how you doing? Liz Chavez received her AP coin today. Well, that's awesome. I hope you like it, Liz. And thank you for joining in on that live stream, by the way. That was, I believe that you won that, Liz, during Grayman Prepping's live stream where I joined him that day. And that was a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun when I join Grayman. He's a good guy. How you doing, Mandy? American Country Boy, how you doing? Mary, how you doing? Lee Ann, how are you doing? Lee Ann, you are very kind, but you don't have to lie. All right, you don't have to lie, okay? You are very kind, though. Mario, what's up, Mario? How you doing? Mario says, I tried mixed berry. Oh, you tried the mixed berry, that nutrient drink from Nutrient Survival. Got it successfully in the mail. The mixed berry tastes good. Yeah, I like the mixed berry. It's kind of like refreshing, isn't it, Mario? It tastes good. And it's not bitter or anything like that. Yeah, it's good stuff. I either have one of those every single day or I have one of the Immune Boost every day. And of course, I always have a coffee. That's the first thing I do in the morning. Cat D, Linda, how you doing? Laura Dow, and can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Just a second. It's raining outside. Incredible. If it starts raining pretty heavy, I'll have to get out, and my reception is not going to be very good because I have my phone outside. That's my hotspot. So I'm going to wait about another minute or so to see if it stops. If not, I'm going to have to excuse myself for about a minute or so. Incredible. Incredible. Oh, man. How you doing, Kate? All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me a second, okay? Give me a second. I don't want my phone to get messed up. Come in, kitty cat. Come on. You want to say hello? Are you coming in here to whine? All right. I hope you can still see me and hear me okay. Yeah, it's raining pretty good. It's raining pretty good outside, which is too bad. Let's see. Okay. If you could all give me a number 1, if you can still see me and hear me all right, to make sure that whatever I did out there, I had to push my phone in up against the outside wall. Oh no, little kitty cat, Miss Kitty Cat is here. And every time she comes in here, she starts whining because she wants to go right back out. Let's see. Frenchie says Costco in Anchorage has 4 pounds, $1.67 a pound ground turkey. Oh, no, has number 4, 1.67 pounds of ground turkey. Oh, wow. So what you're saying is that's like $15 a pound. I think that's what you're saying. If that's it, then hot dog. Hello, Village Homestead. All right, let me bring it down. All right. Go if you want to hold your questions just for a little bit. Go ahead and hold them off just for a little bit, but of course, converse back and forth with yourselves there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see if I can bring up what I want to talk about just quick. It's not going to be a big spiel today, all right? But I want to bring it up real quick, and then we can spend the rest of our time chit-chatting back and forth. Let's see. Stephanie, do you buy gold and silver? I definitely do, and I just happened to do my dollar cost average. I think it was our last live stream, I think the day before our last live stream, which was, I think, this Wednesday that we had a live stream. I had a live stream because I was bored. And this is two of the coins that I bought for those of you that weren't here. I got this one right here. And the reason I got this, it's because it's a 1994, which is a year where not many of them were minted. And 1994 happens to be Victor's birth year. So I've always been trying to find a 1994 for him, and I finally got one. So I got that one, and I got one right here. And I won't give you the same explanation that I did during that live stream of why I got this one, but nonetheless, I think it's a beautiful coin. This is a Chinese panda, all right, and it's from the year 2002, and it is in perfect uncirculated condition, and that's the back. And back in 2002 was when the pandas were still 1 troy ounce. Right now, if you buy pandas that are more recent, the last year or two, they started making them where they're only 30 grams. So those are 1 full ounce. So I bought a couple of those pandas. But oh, there's Miss Kitty Cat. You see, she's getting in trouble right now, trying to do stuff she's not supposed to. Okay. Let me show it to you again, Vision. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making any statements. I'm just showing you what I got, all right? Because I'm not a doctor, and this is the internet, and people in the internet can get crazy. Maybe not you, but other people. But this is the liquid iodine I got. It's supposed to be food grade, and right there it says dietary supplement, okay? It's kind of sad that I have to say those things, ladies and gentlemen, but I think you would all agree with me that it is a necessary evil, something that you do have to do. Hey, thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. Let me see. Ann Costa, how are you? Finally able to make another live? Well, it's very good to have you, Ann. I hope you're still here while I'm saying this because I'm like 15 minutes behind. Look at that. Christian Tannery. Thank you, Christian. I have 6 months of preps. Is that enough? Well, it depends, Christian. We're all different. Now, what I like to say is I don't want to tell you whether you have enough or not, but I'm going to tell you what I think for myself and my family. And I think that having 1 year's worth of preps, not only food, but pretty much everything that you're going to need for an extended year is what I look for. It's what I want to have, and it is what I have. And then once I got to that 1 year part, I started filling in the gaps in addition to prepping more things of what I already have so that I can use for barter. Or you never know. We may have an extended crisis that may last years, and you could use those extra preps that you get beyond 6 months in your case, let's say, or in my case, beyond 1 year. All right, because I do like to have extra stuff because I do know that there will be a need for charity as well. And although we may sit here and say to ourselves, there's no way that I'm going to give away anything of what I have, things may change. You may have someone that comes asking for help who's a doctor, right? Who knows? You may have someone knock on your door who says, hey, can you help me? And that person may just be a doctor. Imagine that. Is that someone that you may want to help or maybe invite into your group? Probably I would. All right. So it's Kitty Cat. See what I tell you? She asked to come in here. Now she's whining to go out. So like I said, you never know. So having more than what you think you're going to need for a specific amount of time, in my opinion, is always a good idea. However, only you can answer that question for yourself, whether 6 months is enough. Personally, I think a minimum of a year is what we should be striving for. Not saying that you should go out tomorrow and get a year's supply of preps, especially if you can't afford that. Slow and steady does win the race. Then on the other hand, if you can afford to go out tomorrow and get a year's amount of preps, more power to you. That's great. I would if it were me. Hello, Bonnie. How are you? Prepper Days. Hello, Hillbilly Prepper is here. How you doing? Let's see. Silver Kid 23 says, my freeze dryer needs some work. Has anyone gone through this? It's reading MID batch heater failure. I do not know, but give them a call. I've had to call them one time, and it was just for a question on oil, right? Because it's pretty difficult for me to get oil up here, and surprisingly enough, I was able to get some through Amazon. But they were very good when I called them. I have heard and have read some comments here in the past, couple of weeks where people are saying that they're having pretty lousy customer service now. I'm guessing is that because they're very, very busy. Because a lot of people are wanting to get those freeze dryers. That's not really an excuse. That's just my guess as to why their customer service maybe has been going downhill a little bit. But give them a call. When I was with them last time on the phone, they were very helpful. Very helpful. I mean, Louise, that's kind of old news. Yeah, that 242,000 acres that Mr. Gates there purchased, that was months ago, months and months ago. Yeah, we all know what's going on. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I put up a video. I forgot when it was. I always forget. But saying something like, has all of these things that have occurred in the last several years, do they happen to just be a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that they've had all of these simulations of things that have come to be? Like, for example, Event 201, the food simulation where food runs out by 2020, or if we have a major food crisis by 2022. That was that simulation that took place back in 2015. The cyber polygon simulation, where they were doing a simulation as to what would happen or what the response of governments would be should there be a major cyber attack. Now, we haven't had a major, like, worldwide cyber attack yet, and hopefully we never will, but we have had cyber attacks that have had, lasting consequences. All right. So all of these things that they've been talking about in the years past, is it all a coincidence? Well, I don't think it necessarily all is a coincidence. But what can we do about that? There's not too much that we can do about it when we have a government that acts on the rule of man instead of the law of the land. All right. So I mean, we can prepare. That's pretty much it. We can prepare, ladies and gentlemen, the best that we can. Thank you very much, JM. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm going to... Well, Captain Coral, again, that's really up to you. Captain Coral says, I got 2 pounds of freeze-dried coffee today. That should be enough emergency supply, I hope. Well, it's up to you on how fast you go through that 2 pounds of coffee. Because I'll tell you what, religiously, my wife and I go through almost 2 boxes of that Nutrient Survival coffee every month. Sometimes it's closer to a box and a half, but I get on average 2 boxes every single month with whatever order I put in. All right. If you all want to know what I get whenever I get a Nutrient Survival package, it's kind of like a payday prep. I just don't do one because I get it every single month. But if you all want me to show you the next one that I get, I'll go ahead and show it to you. It hasn't even shipped out yet. All right. And I put the order in like 2 weeks ago. But I did get something last time. I ended up getting some for Victor and Brenna. And of course, some to fill in the gaps. But even I try to catch sales, ladies and gentlemen, or try to catch deals. Even I try to do that because, what's it hurt to save a few dollars? Welcome to the newbies. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Pam. Welcome to all of the newbies. Let's see. Linda says, I went to my local Walmart a couple of days ago. Their canned chicken was still $7.98 for a stack of 4 cans. That is great. Yes, take advantage of it. You know, some people have asked me in the past, why do you buy canned chicken when you know how to pressure can it yourself? And the simple answer is that if I can buy it, ladies, I like to pressure can. I like doing that stuff. I like making bread. I like doing all of that stuff. I really do. I enjoy it. But if I can buy something already made that's just as good as what I can pressure can, like I consider that chicken pretty good quality chicken, the one that I get from Costco. If I can buy it already canned and everything, and all I got to do is put it in my pantry, and it's cheaper or about the same price as what it would cost me to do it myself, I'm going to buy it. I don't want to do it just to do it. You know, I'm going to buy it already. So if it makes sense for you to buy something that's already done for you, by all means, you know, go ahead and do that and take advantage of that. That's awesome. Also, Mario, I didn't even connect the two dots together. So that means that you finally received that package that they mailed you. Awesome. Good deal. Let us know what else Becky sent you. I have no idea what she sent you. Let me know what she sent you. That way, next time I'm asking her for some freebies, she won't give me a hard time. I'll be like, "Oh, remember when you sent Mario this and that?" How you doing, Rick? Rick Sumner. How you doing? Milk at Walmart, $3.89 a gallon, and last week it was $2.59. Get used to it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I don't feel good about this one bit. Let me tell you that right now. But we've been talking about this for a while. I hope that people have been preparing, because I hate to have to say this, but I do believe that a year from today, we will be calling today the good old days. And I made that same statement about a year ago about today, saying that a year ago today was the good old days, when gasoline was less than $2 a gallon, when food was 30, 50, 60% less expensive than it is now. Well, a year from today, we will be calling today the good old days, just like we're calling a year ago the good old days as well, when things were a lot less expensive. Things will continue to get more expensive. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Well, Gracious 48, that canned chicken is just a great protein substitute. You know, not substitute, but it's a great protein to add to anything. So let me just tell you a few of the things that I can think off the top of my head, okay, that I can use a canned chicken for, and I have. So to make like chicken noodle soup or chicken rice soup, excellent, because that texture works really great for any kind of soup that you're making with chicken. All right. So to make a chicken salad sandwich, my wife makes an awesome chicken salad sandwich, and it comes out great. Or chicken salad, right? It comes out great. You can take it and put some blackened seasoning on it, and you can actually fry that on a little bit of olive oil, and it actually comes out really good. You can take that, you can mix it in with rice. You can take some of that, and let's say, for example, I'm having some nutrient survival Southwest medley, which is a rice and beans dish. I can just go ahead and put it in there, mix it in with that, and there you go. I've got chicken along with my rice dish. There's many things that you can do with it, all right? Many things. You can make a casserole out of it. You can make chicken Alfredo out of it, all right? It's a lot of stuff that you can do with canned chicken. How you doing, Ghost Prepper One? Good to see you. Jacqueline Johnson is here. How you doing? All right. I'm falling really far behind. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down, okay? Lady Samantha, celebrating my first live. Are you serious? That is awesome. Your first live on YouTube ever. Man, that is awesome. Thank you very much for joining in today, Lady Samantha. And thank you for the super chat, but thank you for joining in. Awesome. Good in the woods. It's not too late to buy a freeze dryer if you can afford the meat to buy to freeze dry going forward. So knowing what we know, that there's been a lot of culling of chickens, knowing what we know, that in my opinion, right now the beef prices have gone down a little bit, just a little bit, not that much. But in my opinion, here come winter time or so, it's going to start going up, and it's going to stay up for a long time, because a lot of cattle have been culled because there's not enough feed, or the feed is too expensive. And it takes years for those cattle that were called, not just cattle, but heifers, right? Heifers. It takes years for those heifers to be back in line as far as being able to have, calves, right? And they can only have one at a time. So I think that by the end of this year, right? And, if I'm wrong, I'll be happy that I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. At the end of this year, I think that meat prices are going to be back on the rise. In addition to that, everything is going to get more expensive. So if you can afford to buy the meat to be able to put in there, or whatever it is that you want to freeze dry, like I love freeze dry cheese, cheese shreds. I love the freeze dry cheese. Actually, I'm going to put another batch in there probably tonight or tomorrow. I love that stuff. But if you can afford to get that stuff still and put it in there, and continue to put that freeze dry to work, the more you put it to work, the faster that your return on investment will be. Okay? Okay, I am going to bring it all the way down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so if I missed your question after my little spiel, go ahead and repost it, and then we will chit-chat for a little longer after I get done with my spiel. It's not going to be very long at all. Let's see. I think I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anyone. Okay, so I'm coming in okay again. All right, great. That's good. Mario, that coin is staying here. Look at this. Low blood pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, low blood pressure is not a financial advisor, okay? He says, max all them credit cards and get silver. I'll tell you what, low blood pressure, if people did that, I bet you the government will very, very quickly say stop. They'll pass some kind of a law or something saying that we can't do that. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm bringing it down. Steve Gray. Hey, thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. Blessings to you as well. Thank you for the blessing. Well, low blood pressure, let me tell you what. Personally, I would not do that. Personally, okay? There may be, if you're talking about like max out my credit cards because I know that the system's going to fail, personally, I would not do that. All right. I find a problem with that. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Oh, goodness. Low blood pressure is putting me on the spot there, asking me if I'd max out my credit card. No, I wouldn't. You know why? Let me tell you why I wouldn't do that. Let me tell you why as I'm scrolling down. Because the credit card that I have that I use, I pay it off every single month because I don't want to pay interest. So I'm not going to put more on it than I know that I can pay off. Renee, thank you, Renee, for becoming a member of the Ladies and Gentlemen's Club. Welcome. Okay, I'm bringing it down. Okay, ladies. So if I miss your question or your comment, just go ahead and re-ask it after I'm done showing you what I'm going to show you here in about 1 minute. As soon as I finish scrolling down, I'm only 2 minutes behind here. Okay, here we go. So I just wanted to share something with you, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to take a look at this. This was part of my thumbnail, I do believe. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is what being patriotic is, I think we've had all of the patriotic that we can stand in the United States. But I'm not here to complain about the price of heating oil. I almost got whiplash today because I just noticed this morning. This picture is from this morning. As I was taking Little Miss Alaska Prepper to school, I was like, what in the world is that? And I said, what does it say over there? And she told me $4.69. I was like, oh my goodness. Incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you what, last year at this time, we were paying about $1.75 or so, something like that. $1.75, $1.79. This is almost, what is 2.5 times? Let's see how much this is. Let me take my calculator out. So we got $4.69 divided by 1 point. Let's just go ahead and say 180. That's more than 2.5 times the price. All right. That's more than 2.5 times the price that I paid for heating oil same time last year around. It might have been a little less, maybe. And what I'm thinking to myself is this. Okay, I had the forethought to get heating fuel before the price went up like this. I had the forethought to get more containers and fill them up for the next couple of years. I'm good on heating fuel. And I actually went and got 2 more empty containers so that I can do the same thing. I went and got 2 more empty containers, hoping that this summer, maybe the price of heating oil would go down and I can take advantage of that time and fill those 2 up as well. But now it costs me about 25 to 30% more to fill up one of those containers than what it did for me to fill up both containers last year. Think about that. Now, can I live with those prices? Yes, I can. Okay. I can afford it. But I'm thinking about, what about those people that cannot? What about those people that were already struggling to heat their homes? And not only here in Alaska, it's actually not as bad here in Alaska as it's going to be in the East Coast. The East Coast, I hope that they don't have a bad winter this next coming winter. What do you want? Come here. You want to say hi? You want to say hello? Say hello. They haven't seen you for a while. What are you meowing about? Come on. I'll let you out in a little bit. But anyways, I hope that next winter is not as bad as winter as they're predicting over in the East Coast, because I have something to show you really quick about the East Coast and how much they are paying for heating fuel now that it's not even really winter there anymore. So think about the impact that that's going to have on families that rely on paying on heating oil to heat their homes, ladies and gentlemen. I put up a video a while back saying that people were going to have to decide whether to heat their homes or feed their families. And I think that we may see that here in the future. I think it's pretty ridiculous that we are exporting energy when we here in the United States can't export that energy because the price is way too high for some people to even be able to afford it. And let me go ahead and share this with you really quick, just so you can have an idea of what's coming down the line. Right? This is not right now. It's not taking effect as of now, I don't think. But let me show you what's coming down the line for people that depend on heating fuel or heating oil, and also for people that depend on propane. Propane as well is extremely expensive. Let's see if I can share this with you. Okay, here it is. So that there, ladies and gentlemen, this is the chart. I think it's a 10-year chart. Okay, yes. Can you see that? Yeah. I believe it's a 10-year chart, and it is, or a 12-year chart, something like that. But I want you to take a look down here, 2020. All right, because this is very telling. Now, this is the spot price. This is just the spot price of heating oil that comes in through the East Coast. In April of 2020, so about 2 years ago, it was 65 cents a gallon. That's the spot price. That's not adding in the premium, right? That's not adding in what it costs for them to mobilize that heating oil. That's just the spot price. The premium is what it costs for them to move it from point A to point B, or to the consumer. Now look at what it is here recently. Let's see. This is April 28th. So April 28th of this year, just a few days ago, $5.07. That is, I don't know, that's like 8 times. That's like an 800% increase in price. What are people going to do come next winter? That's my question. What are people going to do? They're going to have to make some very difficult choices. I am still looking into getting a wood stove up here. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, that is why I always say that preparedness is something that gives you room to breathe. All right, it gives you room to breathe. Now, had I not stocked up on heating oil here in the last few months, thank goodness I did, then I would have been scrounging this winter, or I would have been paying those exorbitant prices that they're going to charge, because I don't believe that it's going to go back down. I don't, because of everything that's going on. And if we do get into a kinetic conflict with other nations, with Russia and maybe China, if it happens, I hope it doesn't. If we do, it's going to be even worse than what we are now anticipating that it will be. So, as far as preparedness goes, this is the time for those of you that may be thinking about it. If there's someone here in the live stream right now that you just clicked on to see what these preparedness minded crazy people are like, this is the time that you really need to consider to get prepared. And if you are preparing, to step it up. And if you're fully prepped, if you have your year supply and you have all of those things that you're going to need, you have your emergency fund, you have your freeze-dried foods as a way to diversify the preps that you already have, and you have more room, if it were me, I would be adding on to that, right? If I could. I think that right now is a lot more important to be worrying about your stockpile than it is to be worrying about the stock market. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's all that I'm going to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and listen. What time is it? Look at that. We've got plenty of time. We can do a little chit-chatting back and forth. So now I am going to try to catch all of the questions that I can, but I know I'm going to fall far behind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it happens all the time, and I won't be able to catch them all. All right, but we always have our next live stream, okay? And I'm not sure if I'm going to have a midweek live stream next week. It's not something that I schedule, but there is a couple of days where my wife has an appointment, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do? But the better that the weather gets, the more stuff that I'll have to do outside, so we'll see. All right, so let's see. Knight in Shining Armor, how you doing? Do you think the blue states producing food will starve the red states in order to cause unrest in the red states? I mean, I don't know. I really don't. Would I put it past anyone? You have to understand that the people on the ground, and these are not my words, these are their words, right? And when I say their, I mean the people that are pulling the strings. The people on the ground are the useful idiots, right? They're considered useful idiots. So it's really going to be up to legislation. It's going to be up to legislation on what happens. And I do believe that, a lot of the red states are the states that actually produce most of the food in the country. What would worry me more, what would worry me the most really, is that we produce enough to feed our country, but that our government will allow corporations to export our food. That's what would worry me more, because I can see that happening. They've already got forward leading contracts. They already have contracts where they have to send this country this much, this country that much. So what would worry me more is that if we see here during harvest season or the harvest seasons, like this summer for our winter wheat, and then our potatoes and everything like that, and corn, if we see that our carryover is just enough to feed us for the coming year, and then we still decide to export, knowing that we are going to have less than what we actually need. All right, that's what would worry me more. All right, if you haven't studied the Irish potato famine, go ahead and read up on that, because that is exactly what happened. The government knew that they had enough food to feed the people, but instead they allowed millions to starve, while at the same time exporting foods to other countries, mainly to England. But it doesn't really matter now who it was to. It's just history, right? We just have to learn from that and understand that if we're only going to have enough food for ourselves, that we do need to take care of ourselves first. And I don't mean just the United States. I mean any country. Give me a second, because Kitty Cat is starting to get under my skin, all right? All right, come on. Go on. There you go. As soon as she came in here, I knew right away that she was going to start meowing and whining to get out. But at least she did her little cameo and she's good to go. Yeah, absolutely, Pam. Yes, I know Buffett owns a major rail line, and that's what I was talking about on. I think on part of the video that I put up a few hours back. I was talking about that's how the rich stay rich. They borrow money really cheap, and then they buy assets, right? They buy assets that go up in value with inflation. Whereas the average person, the average working person, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and everything they make, they pretty much spend. And your salary never keeps up with inflation. All right. So the average person is not only losing purchasing power, but they're actually working for less year over year. It's the biggest crime of the century, and almost nobody talks about it. How you doing, PNW Prepping? PNW Prepping says, it's too bad that we can't get student loans to buy silver and gold with that free money. Well, I'll tell you what, that's another thing, the student loan deal, and I think I talked about this during our last live stream, that I can argue the student loan repayment stuff. I can argue both sides of it. It's an easy argument to have, either for or against paying off student loans. Yas Heart, how you doing? Happy Friday to you. Dizzy says your diesel is 20 cents cheaper than the KC area. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I don't usually concentrate on the diesel price. Hey, guess what I found out, ladies and gentlemen? I found out that in Alaska, I was talking to my mechanic here yesterday, and I found out that in Alaska, we don't have any ethanol in our fuel, in our gasoline, that they don't put ethanol in. And I was like, I could have sworn that I saw the E15 thing on the pumps. He's like, no, we don't have ethanol in our gasoline because it brings down the BTU, and we need that extra power because of the weather. I'm like, wow, I never noticed that. But the thing that I think the reason why I always thought of it is because every time that I take the cap, my gas cap off my tank, it's got that E85 notice on it. But I guess we don't have E85 here in Alaska. We don't have any ethanol in our gas, which is awesome. That is great. Oh, B. Walker, the way we use heating oil is for heating. So, for example, what heats my home is called a Toyotomi, right? It's a direct vent. It's a direct vent heater that heats my whole home, but it uses heating oil for the fuel. Okay, so that's what we use it for, is for heating a home. It's pretty much, heating oil is pretty much diesel, but it's really clean. It's a lot cleaner. And they have two types. They have type 1 and type 2. Type 2 is pretty much good up to like maybe -10, -20 degrees without gelling up. And type 1 is pretty much all the way up to -60 degrees without getting gelled up. And I always get type 1 because it makes no sense to get type 2. They're only like a penny or maybe 2 pennies difference between both of those. So I never get type 2. I always get type 1. Wow, 100 gallons for that is ridiculous. Like I said, I don't know how some people are going to make it. I am so happy that when I built my house that I spent extra money on insulation. I mean, I insulated very well. And I'm going to actually spend a little more money this summer on insulation. I'm going to see if somebody can come in under my crawl space, because my crawl space is exposed to the weather. All right. It's not an enclosed crawl space. So I'm going to have somebody come in and spray foam the bottom, the floor joists in the bottom. Right now I have insulation, fiberglass insulation, but I'm going to take all of that insulation out, and I'm going to have somebody spray foam it to give it an even incredible R value. I'll probably have like R40 on my floors. So I'm going to do that this year. Let's see. While Tommy says that her husband is a truck driver and fuel in most places is going for $6 a gallon, and it is going up even more. Wow. And that's all going to translate, ladies and gentlemen, into higher prices everywhere. Not just food, but everywhere. And Captain Coral says that there is no Crisco to be found anywhere. Well, Captain Coral, if you come across a sale on butter, go watch my video on how to make ghee, because ghee will last, in my opinion, longer than Crisco without going bad, and it's a lot tastier. Yeah. Mad Max says, I looked it up yesterday to top off. I will wait $6. Wow. Incredible. I'm assuming that that's in the East Coast that you guys are talking about that. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the prices come down a little bit in summer because no one's using it. And then if it does, I'm definitely going to take advantage of it. And I'm going to fill up another 2 cubes, which is about another 520 gallons or so. Now, 500 gallons usually gets me through a winter, right? But if things are really bad and we have to be very frugal, we can probably knock it down a little more than that, than 500 gallons, less than 500 gallons for a winter, which in my opinion is pretty darn good. 500 gallons of heating oil to get through a winter here, when here the winters are 6 months long, right? And usually we have to start turning our heater on in September. You know, it's not being used as much, obviously, than it is in the dead of winter, but we usually turn our heaters on in September and we turn them off in April. Okay, so it's really like 7 months that heater's working, but not full speed. I would say probably 6 months out of the year that heater is getting a good workout. So yeah, very lucky that we went ahead and insulated it really well. Oh man, you know what, Jose Robles, you definitely put me on the spot here, man, because I mean, I really like everything. I'm looking at my wall here that's got my nutrient survival. So if I could only pick 4 things, I would definitely pick the coffee, number 1, for sure. And then I would definitely pick the eggs. All right, the eggs are awesome. And then homestyle scramble, which is like the breakfast dish, awesome. That's 3, right? Oh, goodness. That's a hard one. And then the last one, I'll tell you what. I mean, I really like the mac and cheese and lasagna, but I like it when you mix them together. So if you say 5, I'll say the mac and cheese and lasagna. All right, so I'll make it 5. So it'll be those 5 things. Let's see. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for any questions or comments that you want to share, okay? Let's see. Oh my goodness, Vicky. Vicky says our electric bill right now used to be about $95 and it is now $160. Believe it. And you don't even want to know what my electric bill is during the winter. It is so much because we use more electricity here during the winter. Should we have some kind of a grid failure that is extended, you know, that lasts like all the way through winter, it'll be a very tough winter. We'd be able to make it. We would be able to make it, but it'd be a very tough winter indeed. All right, let's see. Wow, Kim. Last time that oil was $4 a gallon, it cost me over $800 a month to heat my home. That's incredible. Wow. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's $800 a month at $4 a gallon. You know, what are people going to do when it doubles? Remember what the goal is of the Green New Deal. I talked about this a while back, a few live streams ago, and I think I even put it up on a video. Remember what their goal is to encourage people to transfer over to electric cars by making the price of gasoline $13 a gallon. Their research told them that it would take $13 a gallon gas for people to want to switch over from an internal combustion engine to an electric car. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're living it. We may not be at 13, but we're almost halfway there. Okay, just checking my phone real quick, make sure it's not getting wet. Yeah, Farmco, I've checked that before, and it is nice. It's a nice little stove. I was thinking about getting one of those for the bunker, and I still might, but I'm thinking about it. I think they make them in Canada, I believe. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Pinball Preparedness is in the house. How you doing, brother? I hope you're still here. I'm not sure how far behind I am. Good to see you, man. Really good to see you. I hope you're doing well, and the wife as well. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't checked out Pinball Preparedness, go check him out. All right, he's an old salty Navy vet. All right, but go check him out. Good guy. Isabel says, Rudy, tell Dave to get with the program. He is listening right now. I don't know what Dave you're talking about, but Dave, please get with the program and listen to Isabel. No, Richard, to tell you the truth, I don't know much about Geiger counters. All right. But go check out, just a second. Go check out, man, what's his name? Brad's channel. I always forget the name. Full Spectrum Survival. Full Spectrum Survival, Richard. Go check Full Spectrum Survival because I do believe that he's talked about it there before. I watch his videos just about every day. I don't think just water bathe. All right, Sam. I don't think just water bathe. I think you would have to pressure can them. But just look that up. If you don't have a ball book of canning, go ahead and get yourself one or get yourself a canning book. You should be able to find that information on there. The reason I don't know is because I really don't like to can potatoes, like pieces of potatoes. I don't like to do that. I think it takes up too much room and too much weight. So if I don't really like to do it or do it, I don't really know too much about it. Right? Well, Keisha, I'm not sure if the LDS still sells powdered milk, but they have. Last time I bought powdered milk from them, which was a couple of years ago, was a pretty good price and it's a decent product. I'm not sure if Oxen Farms still sells their powdered milk, right? Nutrient Survival sells their powdered milk and it's very good. It tastes like milk, but of course it has all the nutrients. But I know Nutrient Survival sells them. I've got some Oxen Farms powdered milk, so I know they sell it, but I'm not sure if they're still selling it right now because there's a lot of things that they're not selling. Right. And the LDS, someone had told me that they stopped doing their internet business. Candace, yes, that is the hope. I am really hoping to be able to do that this year. Really, really am. I want to get that chicken coop built ASAP so that I can start looking for chickens. I do have a little more work to get done on my land this year. But I think that I can get the chicken coop built without the work being done yet. So while we're waiting for the roads to open up to the trucks, I can be working on that. But we still have snow on the ground here. We still have about, I don't know, I would say probably about a foot of snow on the ground back here in my yard. So I have to wait till that's all gone and the ground is stable enough for me to actually build a structure on it. This year, one of the things that I want to do is I want to widen my driveway a little bit. And also put some just rock on top of all of the gravel that was put down last year. So for those of you that don't know, whenever you hear the term gravel, it's not just rocks. It's like rocks that are cut, that are broken down into different sizes, and they have sand, which is really good because the sand in between the rocks makes those rocks stick together. You know, they bind together. But it's kind of messy trying to go inside and outside of your house all the time because the sand sticks to your feet. So I want to get a layer of just gravel on top of my of rock on top of my gravel. Just a layer of rock. It'll make it nice and clean when it rains, like it's raining now, and when the snow melts, it'll make it a lot cleaner than what it is now. I want to get that done. I want to get my driveway widened, and I'm also going to get another driveway built that will actually lead up to my fuel tanks to make it easier for me. I'm trying to think of those things that I'm going to need to have done for whenever I get older, and less capable of doing things. That will make it easier for me. That way they can be done now that I can get it done, and it'll be done and over with. But I do plan on getting my greenhouse built this year. I plan on getting the chicken coop done, and I do want to put up my solar array. Okay. Oops. Something fell. Oh, wow. That's a good price, Mike. My firewood supplier in Central New York had to raise from $200 to $225. That's actually a really good price for us here. Up here, I believe during the wintertime, a quart of firewood is delivered. I'm not sure. It's split and delivered. A quart of firewood was going for about $430 for one quart. All right. I am strolling. I am looking, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if anyone has. Okay. Mad Max, are you saying that heating oil is going to be going further from the $6 price per gallon in Elkton, Maryland yesterday? I would say so. I would say that whatever you're paying now is going to be going up again before the end of the year. So if you see a price break during the summer, I would take it. I will take advantage of that to fill up whatever I have to fill up. I believe it will go higher than what they're charging now. You saw the chart that I just showed you, that the spot price is $5.06, and that's just the spot price. Where 2 years ago the spot price was like, what was it, 56 cents or something like that. So yes, I would say that it will be going up higher. Oh no, yeah, it must be the rain. If I'm getting bad internet connection, ladies and gentlemen, it must be the rain and the weather. So all I can do about that is apologize because there's nothing else I could do. Oh yeah, absolutely, B. Walker. My heating fuel is piped to my house. I have a tank that has a copper pipe that leads into my house. Yes. Well, Captain Coral, that's one of the biggest lies ever told, right? The government should have absolutely zero business in the student loan industry and or in the schooling industry, right? In the educational industry, because I remember a day when I was just young, but my oldest brother, he went to college, and all of my brothers, they all went to college, and they paid as they went. They worked in the summertime. It was enough for them to pay for their college, and my parents helped as much as they can, but they pretty much all graduated with very, very little, if not no student loan at all. All right. So I remember those days, but with all of the things that the government's done to make it easier for people to borrow for a student loan without really having any credit worthiness, and also by backing up those student loans, where colleges are like, hey, it's really easy for you to borrow, so go ahead and borrow, and they just kept bringing up their prices. All right, because the more that something is subsidized, the more that it is used, right? So a good example for that I've used in the past is, if you want to put that theory in motion, if you're at work, put out a jar of candy and say, please have one, it's free. All right, so you're completely subsidizing that candy. You're giving it away. Please have one, it's free. And see how long it takes for that jar of candy to to empty out. Then the next day, go ahead and put on the same jar of candy with a little sign and a little cup next to it saying 25 cents each, and see how long it takes for that jar of candy to get emptied out. It's no longer subsidized. Now people have to pay for it. I guarantee you that it will take a lot longer for that 25-cent per piece candy to empty out than that one that was free. Whenever the government subsidizes something, they're taking money from one set of people, giving it to others. All right. And then when something is subsidized, it is abused more than if people had to actually pay for it. For example, let's say that you have free health care. If you cannot get into a doctor appointment for 2 weeks, let's say, what would you say? Let's say you wanted to go to the doctor for whatever, all right? You have an ingrown toenail, all right? It doesn't matter what it is, for whatever. Let's say you wanted to go to the doctor for this or that, right? And you call the doctor and say, hey, we don't have an appointment available for the next 3 weeks, right? But your toenail hurt, but it's not a thing that's going to endanger your life. What do most people do who have subsidized medical or free medical? They go to the emergency room, right? So the more that something is subsidized, the more that it will be used. And student loans, they're subsidized by the government, by the fact that the government guarantees the bank that you borrowed it from that if you don't pay, that they'll pay on your behalf, and then you'll be on the hook to the government for that. So yeah, student loans, bad. And I mean, look at where all of these advanced degrees have gotten our nation, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all of these degrees that people have. Why can't people find work? Why can't people find work with all of these advanced degrees that they've got, right? It's because the degrees, now that so many people are, let's get into this for a little bit. And this is one of the problems with subsidizing college, with subsidizing student loans, is now you have a lot more people in the market with a diploma. And now there's more, more competition for that same job. Meaning what? Meaning that the employers that are hiring for those jobs, they have more people to pick from. When you have more of something, you can get it for what? For cheaper. So they don't have to offer as much because they have a lot more competition. These things have all been thought out for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good way of destroying a nation. And that's just one thing. Wow, $1,600 to fill up his truck. Incredible. That's what happens when you have the Putin price hikes. Okay? It's a Putin. I'm just messing with you. Putin price hikes. That's all I hear is Putin price hikes nowadays. Hey, how you doing, Casey? Good to see you. Better late than never. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, Tina. $1,500 a week to $2,500. Incredible. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. How you doing, CR? Good to see you. Well, let me tell you what, Gigi. I can't tell you what my source is, all right? And I'm being serious. But there definitely is a potato shortage, all right? There is. It's getting harder to find in mass. I'm not saying that you can't go to the supermarket and get a 5-pound bag of potato, right? What I'm saying is that if you're in industry and you need a semi-load or a couple semi-loads of potatoes, it's getting very difficult to be able to do that. The big question is, did the lid losing its seal result in the furred up chicken, or did the chicken go off and cause the lid? Oh my goodness, Anne, was that a joke? I'm not sure if that's a joke or not. And if it's not, I just didn't get the question. All right, let's see. I'm looking, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got? Wow, hey, look at that. That's Alpha Jack. It's in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take a quick minute to say thank you very much for joining in today. I just took a look to see how much time we were at, and I seen there's over 1,000 of you here today on this lovely Friday for myself that it's still raining outside. But thank you for joining in. I truly do appreciate it. And thank you very much for all of your support for watching my videos, ladies and gentlemen. I truly do appreciate that as well. Hello, Jersey girl. Peter. I'll tell you what, Peter. one of the most stressful periods of my life was when I owned a couple of rental homes. The most stressful period of my life. I am so happy that my wife and I sold all of our rent. We had like two. We had more than two over over the last 20 years. But, we had like two rental houses left when we moved here to Alaska. We still had two rental homes. I am so happy that I sold those. And I could have probably made a little more money on one of them, but I told the realtor, I says, I just want it gone now. And I am so happy that those are gone. I mean, if I would have held on to them till now, I probably would have been able to make a lot more money, but I didn't care. It's just too stressful. So if I had a rental home right now, I would be getting rid of it. I would, but I can't tell you what to do. I mean, your situation could be a whole lot different than mine. And I got off pretty lucky with the ones I had. Captain Coral, I have to pick the coffee. I am a caffeine addict and I love that coffee. See, that tells you how much I love that coffee because I would pick it as one of my 5 things. Jose Gutierrez, how you doing, brother? How you doing? Say hello to the wife. West Texas Mutt, how you doing? Infrared Survival, how you doing, Infrared? Good to see you here. Hello, Wildflower. Kevin Scott, knee deep in crazy, says that diesel in North Florida is $5.69 a gallon. Hello, Trinity 88. And ladies and gentlemen, I actually have a couple of reviews coming up. I'm still waiting to review this guy right here, okay? But I have a couple other reviews, some of stuff that I actually got. One of them I'm very excited about, and I think I might be doing that tomorrow, or maybe I'll put it up for Sunday. I'm not sure. All right, I'll probably be doing that tomorrow, though, tomorrow or Sunday, but pretty interested in that one. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of it. It has to do with water filtration. Yeah, Penny, it could be. It could be. I've heard that the pull tops that they can be compromised easier than the regular ones that you have to open, but just make sure you check your stuff before you consume it. No, I don't think so, Alpha Jack. I've stated before that if prices come down, they'll come down a little bit, but never back down to where they used to be. There's just way too much money in the system. And in addition to that, all of the money that's in the system still hasn't even hit consumer products. A lot of the reasons why we do have elevated prices is because of the supply chain, right? Because look at China. They're pretty much coming up with every excuse they can come up with to not manufacture and therefore not be able to really export. That's hurting the supply chain. You take a look at all of the things that's going on that's actually affecting the price of foods. That doesn't have to do with money inflation, right? With the money supply. But then once that money supply really does hit the consumer products, not only food but everything, things are going to go up even higher, right? So for those of you that don't know, in the last couple of years, the U.S. has printed about 80% of all of the money that's ever existed in the United States, just in the last 2 years. And I'll say that again, 80%, 80. All of that inflation, which inflation, the definition is the money supply getting bigger. All of that inflation still has not hit the actual consumer prices. Once the velocity of money, which the velocity of money is the rate at which dollars are exchanged within the economy, once the velocity of money picks up, we will start seeing the inflation actually affect the price of goods to go even higher than what they are. All right. So it's not, when I sit here and I tell you, yeah, things are not going to get any better, I'm not saying that just so that I can say it. All right. Because that's not what I want. I don't think that's what anyone wants. All right. And so I'm not saying it just to say it. I'm saying it because it's because of what I see in the system, of what I see that's going on, what I see that can affect, prices of things going on in the future. So I do believe that we will have a period of stagflation or deflation as well, because the cure for high prices is high prices. But that won't be a good thing either. And the reason for that is because if we do have a deflationary period because prices are so high, it's because people can't afford to get anything. So they're not. And that's what's causing the deflationary period. So I think we will have that, in some form, type or fashion in the future as well. And that's why I think it's a good idea to keep what I like to call dry powder, a little bit of money set aside from your emergency fund, that if you see something go down in price for a given amount of time, that you can take advantage of that, because it's not going to last, ladies and gentlemen. It's eventually going to go back up. All right. We are going into a time in our history that has not really been experienced before in humanity. And what am I saying about? What do I mean about that? No time in history has the world been in so much debt as we are now. And what people don't understand about debt that makes what I just told you very critical is this, is that debt is not just money. Debt is energy. It is energy owed, right? Debt is energy that we owe. There's not enough energy that we can produce to pay back all of the debt that is in the system. So if there's not enough energy, what does that mean? It means that all of the resources that we took from the future to use now, all right, all of the resources that we took from the future to use now, because we printed all of that money into existence. Had we not printed all of that money into existence, we wouldn't have been able to afford to extract wealth from the future and spend it now. You understand that, ladies and gentlemen? So all of those resources that we extracted from the future so that we can have a better standard of living now, we're not going to have. So energy is also measured in calories. So that means that there's not going to be enough energy, enough resources in the world to sustain the number of people that we have. And a lot of people will perish, right? And that's just natural selection. That's going to happen. A lot of people will perish. If our stock market goes down, if our stock market drops and the dollar loses value, loses world reserve currency, whatever scenario you want to put in there, people will perish. Can you believe that? People will perish because of a paper bill that man decided to create in order to cheat humanity out of their labor. So people will perish because of that. As I've said in the past, it will be a resource problem, and that's what it's going to be. And again, I have to say this because I do hope that I'm 100% wrong. I truly do hope that I'm 100% wrong. But I just don't see it ending in a good way. Well, Helena asked, how did I start in prepping? Well, I mean, it was an awakening, Helena. It was an awakening, and I'll go over it real quick. I read a book, very first book I ever read that started the awakening process for me was called Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. Outstanding book. If you have not read that book, or if you want to get the audio tape, by all means, Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. I think I have that book in my Amazon storefront. It's not a hard read. It's not a long read. But I'll tell you what, the things that I learned from that book, I mean, it just opened up my eyes to the way of the government, to who is the government really there for. Then I read his second book. What was it? Jekyll Island. I forget the title. Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffith. All right. The Creature of Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffith, which is a book that documents the creation of the Federal Reserve, how it was done in secrecy, and then all of the intricacies of the Federal Reserve and how it pretty much was put in place in order to steal our wealth, in order to enslave humanity with paper dollars, right? I read those two books. I started waking up. I started going down rabbit holes. And then eventually I saw a clip from, I think it was Hurricane Sandy on the East Coast. And this lady came running up to, I think it's Schumer, Senator or Congressman Schumer, whatever he is, came running up to him, begging him for gasoline, begging him for blankets, begging him for food, begging him for generators. And I'm like, why is this person relying on government to take care of them during crises when government does this in the background? And at that point, I pretty much told myself, there's no way that government's going to take care of you, when something bad happens. So you have to depend on yourself. And if you are the head of the household, whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, it is your responsibility to ensure that you have insurance for your family's well-being should something happen. And preparedness is just another way of saying insurance in order to sustain your standard of living during a crisis. So that's how I got into prepping, or that was my awakening. Isn't that something, the way that the world works, ladies and gentlemen? Had I never read that book, by the way, I read that book on my way home from a tour in Afghanistan, and my buddy gave me that book. Mac, right? We used to call him Mac. And my buddy gave me that book and said, here, read this on your way home if you ain't got nothing else to read. And I'm like, all right. Had I never read that book, I may not be sitting here right now talking to you all about preparedness. It's kind of weird the way that life works and the way that, God put things in your lives that actually end up shaping how your life becomes later on. All right, I'm going to start scrolling down to finish it off. We're over an hour and a half, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, that worked with my phone. My phone is not getting soaked, although it is raining pretty good. There you go. Wolf says that Oxen still sells powdered milk. So go check that out if you want to try out Oxen's powdered milk. There you go. JT says sweet potatoes are not high in acid and should be pressure canned. I was thinking that they should be pressure canned because regular potatoes should be pressure canned also. So there you go. Absolutely. You cannot go wrong, Sharon. You cannot go wrong in putting up butter. All right, I've got butter put up 3 different ways. I've got it canned butter from Red Feather, which is awesome butter. I love it. I got my ghee. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have 50 pounds of butter in your freezer, then you can't call yourself a prepper, okay? Let's see. Alaska for me, how you doing? The snow is all gone here in Big Lake, Alaska, but my place, lakes around here are liquid ice. Really? Yeah, they're cold, huh? Yeah, you know what? With this little rain we're having, I'm guessing that here in the next couple of days, probably the next couple of days, all the snow will be gone. So I'm very, very happy about that. Okay, I am going to start bringing it down, ladies and gentlemen, because we are getting there. Let's see. Charlene, thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Charlene. A representative. Oh, look at this, Charlene, a representative of Quebec's for Police for Freedom Alliance. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Let's see. I'm looking for any last questions, ladies and gentlemen. I hate missing the questions, I really do, but there's no way I can ever catch them all. Big Bear Prepper, how you doing? Did you see Duracell came out? I don't like it. I saw it at Costco's, I don't know, maybe about a month ago or so, or a little less than a month ago. I don't like it. I actually like the big one that has a regular AGM battery more than I like that little one that has a lithium battery. That little one, it doesn't look like you can connect any external batteries to it. I don't like that about it. I don't like that. I don't like the price compared to the watt hours. Yeah, I don't like that one. I was considering buying one just to review it, but after I read all of the specs, I just like the big one so much better. I don't know why they had to mess around with something good instead of making it into something better. I wish they would have given me a call. I wish they would have given me a call because I would have kept it the same size. I would have put in a lithium battery with the ability of still being able to add external batteries. I would have increased the charge controller's input and output, so, well, maybe not the output, but the input for sure. I would have increased it from 100 watts to, at least 200 to 400 preferably. So I would have changed the charge controller to input 400 watts at least. I think that would have been, I wouldn't have done too much more to it than that because it's such a good unit. Very good, very reliable. Thank you, Mr. Beans. Beer, beans, and bullets. Thank you. We are in the 20s. Sounds weird. It's similar to, yes, we're in the 1920s right now. And we're getting to that 1929, we're getting to that 1929 climax in the market before it all shatters and it goes down. And it's not going to go down in one day. It's going to take several years. That's why some people are going to lose everything because they're going to think that, okay, just let me hold on and see if it bounces back up. And then it's going to have this little bounces up, but it's going to keep going back down. An era when the upper class were living a life of hedonism while people starved and the world was on the verge of financial ruin and war. Absolutely. And that's what's going to happen again. That, in my opinion, of course, their main goal is, and when I say they, I mean the people that want to call themselves our rulers and already do behind closed doors. All right. Their end goal is to completely enslave us, meaning to have complete control over our actions. That is their goal. All right. Knights in Shining ASMR. Can we send canned ham to you from Australia for giveaways? You know what, Knights Farm? That'd be awesome, but I know how much it costs for postage. I would rather you not. In all honesty, I would rather you just use that money to prep. Because I know how much postage costs. I mean, it costs an awful lot just coming from the lower 48. But I can only imagine how much it costs for it to be coming from Australia. All right. So, I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but I would rather you not spend that much money. Sometimes when I get a package in the mail, from one of you all that send me something, I feel bad because I see the postage and how much it costs. But thank you very much for asking. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let me see. Where are we at? I am really super far behind. I have definitely got to bring it down. Let me bring it down to about 5 minutes. Man, look at that. Bring it down to like 5 minutes. It's going to take me 5 minutes of scrolling just to do that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if I miss your question, please forgive me. Look at this though. I'm glad that I saw this troublemaker in the house. Gray Man Prepping's in the house. How you doing, Gray Man? Good to see you, brother. All right, let's bring it down some. I'm so far behind. Let's see. I think. How you doing, Ricky from Tennessee? I'm gonna stop for a little bit. Okay. Kidsy says, can you list all your book recommendations? What you and Happy Mother's. Thank you. Oh no, thank you and Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you, Kidsy, if you're a mother. You know what? I don't really read that many books. I like to listen to them. All right. If I'm going to read a book, it takes me a very long time to read it, but I do have an extensive audio book library. But I'll have to maybe if I can get a list together, I will. Oh, wait a minute here. ABC Patriot, thank you. Yes, ABC. Nixon took us off the gold-backed dollar, and now the chickens are. Oh, they're definitely coming home to roost. Absolutely. Yep. That was one of the greatest crimes in history. August 15th of 1971. Just Arizona. I'm going to have to correct you, okay? Little Miss Alaska Prepper is not my wife. Mrs. Alaska Prepper is, and I'll wish her a happy Mother's Day for you. If somebody was wishing Little Miss Alaska Prepper Happy Mother's Day, then man, something definitely went wrong because she's only 15. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yes, happy Mother's Day to everyone who is a mother. All right, for this Sunday. And ladies and gentlemen, I will not be having a live stream this Sunday, okay? So I hope that most of you caught that. Man, it is getting chilly here now. Do you hear the rain? I'll be quiet for a second. Can you hear the rain? Yeah, it's raining good. All right, well, we're going to call it good for today, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if you are new to the live stream and or if you are a new subscriber, let's say within the last week or two, go ahead and in the chats, type in I am new in all caps so that we can shout you out during our outro in the chats and on the screen here. And before I let you all go, thank you very much to our moderators. I know that Yarn Prepper is not here today. She's with some family, and Angie's probably still working. But thank you to our moderators, the three of you that are here. All right, thank you very much, ladies, for always being here and always taking care of our community as well as you do. And having said that, remember to be good to each other, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great weekend. I almost always forget to do the Friday safety brief. Listen, go out and have a great night tonight. Have a great time because you've worked for it. And just be safe out there. Don't do something that's going to bring you a minute or two of joy and then ruin the rest of your lives, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So if you want to go ahead and have a drink, please have a drink and have a great time. Just don't drink and drive. Get someone to drive you, a designated driver. That's right. Get a designated driver, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because we want to see you here again during our next live stream, which will not be this Sunday. All right. So I hope that you have a great weekend. Again, happy Mother's Day to all of you out there that are mothers. So remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I'm out. God bless. Have a great weekend.